We all at some point face challenges that test our resilience, shake us, and even make us question everything we once believed to be true. Sometimes these situations come with pain and frustration, causing us to doubt our ability to overcome them. But what if I told you that these difficult moments, no matter how painful, could be the greatest opportunities for personal growth in your life? And what if, instead of seeing suffering as a burden, you started to view it as a unique chance for transformation and self-discovery? Life inevitably presents us with adversities, however. The crucial question is not what happens to us, but how we choose to react to these situations. When our plans fail, frustration and resistance often take over our minds. We don't like going through difficulties, of course, but what would happen if, instead of fighting the pain, we decided to use it as fuel to change our subjective reality and drive our inner evolution? Suffering, in fact, can be a great teacher, and when we understand that true transformation happens not through what is easy, but through what is challenging, our perception of the process of change expands. As author Elizabeth Kubler-Ross once said, "Pain is the great revealer of truth." What if the pain we feel isn't just punishment, but an opportunity to awaken to our true essence and the power to reprogram our subconscious mind? In this video, the idea is to explore how we can transform suffering into a process of self-discovery and evolution, shaping our reality from the inside out. True change begins within us, in the way we interpret pain and what we decide to do with it. The mindset shift is, therefore, the key that opens the doors to a new world of possibility. Suffering is an inevitable part of the human journey, something we are all familiar with since birth. It accompanies us in many forms, and it is something we cannot simply avoid. But instead of seeing it as an enemy, Buddha taught us that suffering is a universal reality, that it is part of our process of self-discovery and growth. The Buddhist concept of dukkha invites us not to escape pain, but to accept it as part of our spiritual journey and evolution. The first step to transformation is recognizing suffering as it is. Often, when we try to escape what we feel or ignore the pain, we end up prolonging its impact. Avoiding difficulties and challenges only makes them more intense, more difficult to deal with in the future. When, on the other hand, we allow ourselves to feel the pain, we better understand its roots and learn to work with it constructively. This is part of the mental reprogramming process, which allows us to change our limiting beliefs and thought pattern. Suffering often comes from attachment, whether to the past expectations or the desire to control the future. When reality doesn't match what we imagine, we encounter frustration and dissatisfaction. Instead of resisting what is, what would happen if we began to detach from these expectations? By learning to accept suffering, you stop fighting against it and start flowing with the experiences life provides. Imagine for a moment that instead of surrendering to the pain, you were able to transform it into a springboard for your own growth. What happens inside you in that moment of acceptance is the opening of your subconscious mind, allowing a reprogramming that not only changes the way you deal with pain, but also changes the way you live life. When you begin to cultivate detachment and accept pain as part of the growth process, you begin to realize that, in fact, pain is what fertilizes the soil for new seeds, new ways of thinking, acting, and being. A seed needs to break through the earth, face the difficulties of the environment to transform into a strong tree. Similarly, your difficulties can be the fuel for your personal growth, and by accepting that, you create space to blossom into a stronger and more resilient version of yourself. Now we come to a breaking point, that moment in life where everything seems to fall apart. Perhaps it was a significant loss, an unexpected failure, or an existential crisis, where the ground beneath you seems to have disappeared. In that instant, you feel like you are facing an endless abyss. But what if I told you that the end is, in fact, the beginning of something much greater? That, often, it is in the moment of greatest suffering that the greatest transformation begins to germinate? This is the breaking point. The moment of extreme pain that seems impossible to endure, but that, paradoxically, can be the start of a new cycle of self-discovery and empowerment. Resilience emerges here in your ability to rise, to learn from difficulties, and to move forward. Suffering is not the end of the story, but what will shape a new chapter of your life. Just like the river that, after a storm, carries stones, mud, and debris, what seemed like a disaster can, in reality, be the preparation of the ground for something new and more significant. Suffering, in its essence, is what enables the creation of new paths and opportunities. At this point, the key to true transformation is not just in recognizing pain, but in choosing how to respond to it. The motivation to move forward and inner empowerment arise from our ability to use pain as fuel for growth and overcoming. Think, for example, of someone who lost their job or suffered a great failure. For many, this might seem like the end of a journey, but for others, this is the moment to take control of their life, learn from their mistakes, and move on to new goals. The breaking point, when faced head-on, transforms into an opportunity for transformation. It allows you to release old limiting beliefs, reinvent yourself, and in many cases, build an even stronger and more resilient version of yourself. Now that you have started to understand the vital role that suffering plays in the process of transformation, it's time to apply practical strategies that will help you walk this path of self-discovery and evolution. The mindset shift is a fundamental part of this process, and the tools you use along this journey are essential for reprogramming your mind and achieving your goal. The first important strategy is detachment. When we talk about detachment in the context of the law of attraction, it does not mean abandoning your dreams, but learning to free yourself from the need to control the results. Detachment is a way of aligning yourself with the flow of life, without obsessively clinging to expectations or specific outcome. When you release the need for control, you create space for things to happen naturally and organically. However, detachment is not easy. It requires practice and a shift in perspective. For example, imagine you have a very important personal or professional goal. If you cling to the idea that you will only be happy or fulfilled if you achieve this goal in a specific way, you are blocking the very possibility of achieving what you desire. Detachment, in this case, means acting toward your goal, but not pinning your happiness on what happens in the future. Another powerful strategy is deliberate action. Taking conscious actions toward your goals is the only way to materialize change in your life. This requires a great deal of motivation and commitment, especially when facing challenges. Integrating mindfulness into your life can be an excellent way to deal with the ups and downs of the transformation journey. Mindfulness helps you observe your emotions and reactions objectively, allowing you to make wiser decisions aligned with your true essence. With creative visualization, you can program your subconscious mind to achieve your deepest desires. Imagine yourself living the transformation you want. By visualizing it vividly and clearly, you are not only creating mental images of success, but also reinforcing the belief that it is possible to achieve what you desire. Creative visualization has the power to reprogram your mind, helping it align with your goals and, consequently, with the law of attraction. As you begin to apply the practices of internal transformation, recognizing suffering as a tool for growth, reprogramming your limiting belief, and using the law of attraction to your advantage, it's important to realize that the true power of change lies in the continuity of this process. Self-transformation is never an isolated event. It is a constant journey every day. You have the opportunity to reprogram your subconscious mind and create a reality more aligned with your truest essence. Transformation is a continuous process, not something that happens all at once. True change happens when you allow yourself to grow from every experience, from every challenge, and along this path, remember that the power of change is within you. Self-discovery, personal growth, resilience, empowerment, and motivation are the keys to unlocking the most authentic and powerful version of yourself. Every step you take toward change is a step toward your true self. Now, the choice is in your hands. The next step is yours. Did you like this content? If so, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more videos on spirituality, self-awareness, and personal development karma. See you in the next video.